record on this computer. Okay, I think we're good. So what we're talking about today is the 4 vital behaviors of coaching, and it does not matter if it is day 1 of coaching or if it's year 5, your 4 vital behaviors of being a coach don't change. Before I go on, can you still see the PowerPoint or do you see something different?
See Microsoft Word right now.
Okay, let me get out of that. Now.
Yep, you're on the PowerPoint.
Wow. Okay, so a lot of people, they're like, okay, what in the world do I do whenever I first start out coaching? If you do nothing else, the 4 vital behaviors are those 4 things that are going to push your business forward every single day. And these are the 4 things you should do every day without fail. Like, this is how you become a successful coach. And any top coach you ever listen to, they don't have secrets to success. They follow the 4 vital behaviors. And any top coach you'd hear from our team would say the same thing. Do what you know works, and these are those things. And I'm going to try really hard to make it simple today so you know exactly what to do every single day to push your business forward. And if you have questions as I go on, I want you to speak up and just ask as I go on, because I can't even see, like, I can't see the chat. So let me know, okay? Okay, so the 4 vital behaviors, simply put, they are proof. Be proof that the product works. Connect, invite, and follow up with people. Get those people results, and do personal development. And I love this visual because it just says it as simply as it can get, what exactly those things mean. But I'm going to take some time and kind of put my own spin on what I do for each of the 4 vital behaviors, that maybe it will give you a new perspective, maybe it'll help you figure out what you can do too. So the first one is be proof of the product. This one, in my opinion, is probably the most important thing, because most people, whenever they start, they're like, I'm scared to be a salesperson, or I don't want to be a salesperson. I've never sold anything. Well, if you're proof of the product and you're actually living the lifestyle, you're not going to feel like you're selling. Like, there's no way you're going to feel like that, because it's just your life. You have to fully believe in what we offer. And if you don't fully believe in what we offer, then you need to start there. Pause what you're doing and figure out how to gain that belief in what we do as coaches, in our products, in our programs, and in our meal plans. It starts with you completely believing in it and making it your lifestyle. Second thing, share everything. Share the good, share the bad, share the ugly, because you know just as well as I do, there are hard parts of the journey. And I think it's really important that you share in the struggle. Of course, you cannot share in the struggle every single day. I mean, then nobody's going to be attracted to that. But if you have a hard workout, you have no idea how much people are going to respect you and connect with you if you're like, well, that sucked. Because sometimes it does. That is just the reality of being on a health journey. It's hard. Sometimes in the middle of the week, all you can think about is brownies and ice cream, unless that's just me. And sometimes the very last thing you want to do is work out. And guess what? Sometimes you skip a workout. And that's okay too, as long as you're not making that your consistent story. But if that happens to you, happened to me yesterday, people, but I told my followers, I'm like, I don't feel like working out. And then I showed up today and I worked out. Today was supposed to be my rest day, but I'm just keeping them informed of what's going on with me. And yesterday, that was my reality. So tell them everything about the health journey. Share your story. Third thing, show behind the scenes of the lifestyle, because they need to know what they're stepping into. And the funny thing is, the more you share of the program you're doing without actually giving everything away, the less you're going to have a conversation about what you offer. They are going to know what you offer because you're revealing a lot of it. Now, you need to be careful with behind the scenes, because something we don't do is we don't share product names. I don't usually say anything about Beachbody in particular, and I don't talk about product names. And the reason for that is, if I'm saying, oh, I drink my Energize every morning, people are tech savvy enough that they're going to Google Energize, they're going to Google Transform 20, and they will buy it themselves. Like, that will happen, because if they don't have to talk to you, they are not going to. So don't give them everything, but still show them what you're doing. So they have to come to you and say, hey, what is the yellow pre-workout you drink that makes your skin crawl? What is that? Or what is this program you're doing that involves a step? Tell me about it. You want them to ask questions. Show them enough so they're intrigued. Show them what they're getting into, but leave some curiosity because they need to ask you what you're doing. Show behind the scenes of where you work out. That's interesting to people. If you work out in a crowded living room where you have to move your coffee table every single day, don't be ashamed of that. Show people that you make it work in your tiny space. If you redid your basement like I did for a workout space, show them that. They're interested. Show what it really looks like to be prepared for your workout. Show how you meal prep. For me, that's every Sunday. People know that I use my Knock Knock pads. Show where you meal prep. Maybe show a video of you meal prepping. Talk about your favorite workout clothes. Talk about where you get them. Talk about how you access your workouts. Show them anything that you can think of that's just normal for you. And a lot of times you're like, oh, this is boring. Nobody's going to care about this. They care. I promise. They're going to care if part of getting ready for working out for you every single day is moving your coffee table. They care about that. They really do. The next thing that is super important in being proof is showing the proof of your before and afters. Be creative, though, with your before and afters, because I don't know about you, but for me, the before and afters for me are physical, they're mental, and they're spiritual. So I'm showing, because I stepped into this lifestyle of health and fitness, here are all of the ways that I've changed. And my health journey is about my whole self now. Because before, for me anyway, it used to be, I just want to be skinny. But it's really important that you're sharing all of the ways you've changed. And you can show it in different images as well. So, for example, when I first started, I thought that all of my before and afters needed to be in bikinis. And that's a lie. They don't have to be. If you're not comfortable with that, number one, don't do it. Number two, there are plenty of ways that you can share how your body has changed. I've seen lots of girls do like specific body parts, like maybe you're flexing. I've seen Meredith do that, where you see the muscle growth in her arm. I think that's a great before and after picture. Before and after pictures in the same shirt that you can see there's a difference. I think that's amazing. Morgan actually just did that, if you want to see an example, like yesterday, and it was mind-blowing how much she's changed. And then, of course, you can do some that are like in a bikini, because obviously if you're showing the majority of your body, you're going to see where you've changed. So be creative with before and afters. Make sure that whenever you put them side by side, that they are lined up the right way. All of those little things, which I won't get into that here, but if you go to the Self-Paced Coach training, there's all kinds of information about how to post before and after pictures that look good. And then the last thing, being proof of the product really means being consistent. It really means showing up every single day without fail. In my opinion, if people don't see you showing up working out, they're going to assume that you're not. So every single day that you show up, I don't care if you put one video, I don't care if you put one picture, but they need to know that no matter what is going on in your life, that you're going to be consistent. And if you're not showing up, you need to be telling them why. So like last night, I did one clip of me. That's it, saying, I don't feel like working out, whatever, I'll do it tomorrow. Just so they know, I'm not skipping. I'm just taking care of me, and yesterday I didn't feel like doing it. So show up daily. You have no idea how much that means to people. Meredith and I were actually just talking, and she said that before she signed up as a coach, she was waiting for the day that I wouldn't show up, and it never happened. You have no idea how many women are watching you right now. And if you're not being consistent, they're like, okay, she's not serious about this. This is not really her lifestyle. She's just trying to make a buck off of me. Or she's going to find somebody who is being consistent, and she's going to go with her because she knows that she's making it a lifestyle. So make sure that you show up daily. I've been doing this for going on 19 months, I think. And maybe there have been 8 days total that I've not posted, but I always tell them why. Every single time. One of them was Christmas, so I guess it's 6 days, and one of them was a camping trip where I didn't have service, but I made sure I let my followers know, you're not going to see me for a full week. So show up. Any questions about that so far? Pretty cut and dry. All right, here's some examples. You do not have to be crazy creative about how you show what you're doing. You just need to show up. So the first one, I'm showing you all sides of how I'm showing up. I crushed a workout, okay? I'm super excited about it. Sometimes that's the case. Sometimes you do feel amazing about your workout. So show them. If you went through a workout and you felt amazing, tell people that, because it's true and it can happen. But on the other hand, look at my next picture where I showed up and it was the worst workout. I hated it. I wanted to kill Shaun T, and I told them, I'm not going to try to fake it and act like I look like the one on the left every single time I show up, because that's not the truth. Sometimes I want to quit and sometimes I hate it. The next one is, I was talking about my mindset. So the scale has always been something for me that I don't know if struggled with is the right word, but I definitely have my mindset issues with the scale, and those are not over for me. So posting about my mindset around my weight and what I see on the scale and what I see in the mirror. The bottom left one, again, just showing the progress. That one's kind of a different progress picture. I'm not wearing the same outfit, but you can totally see the changes in my face because my face is side by side. Notice that I made sure everything lines up as best as I could. So like my chin is on the same level, my nose is about in the same place, and my eyes in the top of my head. It needs to be as close as possible there so you can really see the difference. If you don't line them up that way, people are going to be more worried about that. Like, it's going to throw them off. They're not even going to have to think about the fact that it's throwing them off, but it just looks weird if they're not lined up quite like that. The middle picture, showing up and being proof by saying, this is what I actually eat for dinner, and giving them suggestions too of how I make it work. So cauliflower pizza has become a staple in my house, and I share about it all the time, and people love hearing about what I eat. I'm not a natural veggie lover, so anything that I can swap is super helpful for me, and I want my followers to know that even if you're picky, even if you don't love vegetables, you can make that work. And then the one on the right, show them that you use our products. I don't post them all the time, but there are times when I think it's really important. Either I do show them on my story quite often, so do it in your story or in your post. Again, I'm not standing there with a Shakeology bag. I am drinking my shake or Recover. I'm not really sure in that picture, but whatever I was drinking, I told them why I was drinking it and how it made me feel without showing them what the product is, because then they're going to see that and they're going to be like, oh, whatever she's drinking is helping her relieve sore muscles, if I was drinking Recovery anyway. And then I may get a message later that says, hey, tell me about that thing you're drinking that helps you with sore muscles, because I constantly am dealing with that. So again, you want them to ask you those questions. Do you have questions about the examples? No? Okay, again, this stuff is pretty cut and dry. So that's the first thing, being proof of what we do. People will be convinced by you showing up and by you proving to them that this lifestyle is real. And sometimes I receive messages that say, I've been following you for a year and I'm finally ready. Do not discount that you have people doing that. You have people waiting for you to mess up, and it's your job to prove to them that this is real for you and it is a lifestyle. Okay, next one. Connect, invite, and follow up. This is by far the one that people struggle with the most, because this is what everybody's afraid of being that girl. You know, we've all gotten those messages that's like, hey, I'm trying to rank advanced, and could you buy this thing for this much money, and then I'll be whatever. It's like, okay, delete, or I'm going to ignore that. We've all had that happen, and that is not what I'm talking about at all. Cold messages rarely work. And what I mean by cold messages or cold invites is you invite somebody to your challenge group the first time you ever speak to them. That is no good. They don't care about your challenge group if they don't even know you. I can guarantee you that. And why would they trust you to lead them through a health journey if they don't know you at all? Like, if somebody first starts following you and you're already going in for the sale, you're being a salesperson, you're not being a coach. So your first line of action is to get to know her. Like, thank her for following you and ask her about herself, or go to her page and do some research on her. Like, is this girl somebody who I think would jive in my group, or does this girl kind of look like a coach? And then build a relationship. Oh, she has a golden doodle. Maybe I'll message her and say, hey, thanks for following me. I see you have a golden doodle. I have a golden doodle too. And just like random stuff. And my first initial reach out to a girl is never with the intention of getting her into my group. I want to build a connection first, because that's what social media is all about. And it's actually really fun. Like, whenever you actually start connecting with girls, to figure out, like, I have friends all over the nation, and it's super cool. to just build relationships with them. I have some girls on my social media who I actually feel like we're friends, and they've never even joined a group, and I'm okay with that. Like, you have to be okay with just understanding that maybe you're just going to be some people's, like some people just like to watch you because they feel like you're their friend. Seriously. And then down the line, because she trusts me and because she knows me, guess who she's going to turn to whenever she's ready to start her health journey? It's going to be me. I can almost guarantee you, because we've been building this friendship. Now, I wouldn't waste a lot of my time. Like, I'm not going to waste an hour chatting with her about nothing, but I am going to keep my relationship consistent with her, and I'm going to respond to her whenever she reaches out to me. So build real connections with people. And again, I feel like I kind of covered a lot of that already, but connect first on things that are unrelated to health and fitness, because the people that you're attracting probably don't love health and fitness right off the bat, because we're not trying to attract other coaches. We're not trying to attract people who are already working out. Like, they already have something working for them. So you want to connect on things like who you are. That's why it's so important to post about things other than health and fitness, like daily. If you have another job, talk about it. If you have a dog, talk about it. If you have a husband or kids or a niece or nephew or whatever, you're talking about things that are going on in your life. For example, whenever we redid our basement, I got so many random messages asking about, what floors are you using? How did you paint the walls? Like, how did you whitewash your brick? And those are little, like, they're little connections every single time. And you start building connections that way. Again, when she's ready to have her health journey, I want to be the person that she thinks about. It's not about going in for the sale. It's not about going in for the kill. However, sometimes it is about that. So the way I reach out to people, if I'm actually going in for, okay, I want her in my group or I want her to be a coach. If she's showed up on my social media a lot, okay, if I've been building a relationship with her and she's constantly talking to me about things, I might eventually say, hey, you've been watching me for a while, and I know you watch my workouts because you can tell on your stories. Have you thought about joining me instead of just watching me? And then starting that conversation from there. Or you put polls out. Polls work really well for me. Some people they don't work so well for, but you can be creative with them. It doesn't have to be like, here's my group. Do you want to join? Yes or no? It could be something as simple as, which do you struggle more with, nutrition or workouts? And you're going to get a lot of votes on that because they feel like it's non-threatening. They don't feel like you're going to reach out from that. A lot of times if it's like, do you want to be in my group? They're scared to answer that because they know they're going to have to respond to you. So whenever you put workouts or nutrition, they're all going to vote nutrition, first of all. That always happens. So then you can reach out to them and say, hey, I saw that you struggle more with nutrition. I struggled a lot with nutrition too before. Would you be interested in joining my group and I can teach you about what I've learned the last 9 months or whatever? Think of whatever it is that fits you, but polls are a really, really good way to reach out. And then the next thing I do is pictures I post. So for example, this morning, I did an actual invite for my cleanse based off of an image I posted. So every single girl who commented on it or every single girl who liked it, I went back and I sent a message and I said, hey, I saw you like my post about the 3-day cleanse. Are you thinking about doing it with me? Something like that. Make it really simple. The other thing I do to kind of get into their inbox, and this came from Taylor, I think she's the one who kind of told us about it. But you could say, hey, I see you liking all of my pictures and I appreciate your support so much. Are you just a supportive Instagram friend or are you thinking about joining me? That way it gives them that out. And they'll probably say, you're super inspiring to me. I have thought about you, or not about you, that'd be creepy. I've thought about joining you, but I'm scared, and you can respond to that. Or they're going to say, no, I'm just a supportive Instagram friend. And that's great too. And you can still thank them and say, I'm so glad. If you ever have questions, let me know. So inviting people doesn't have to be scary. The very worst thing they could say is no, and you're back where you started. You don't ask, and they say no. You ask, there's a chance they say yes, and they say no. Like, it's not scary, especially after you've been in it for a year or whatever, and you start seeing how this has changed your life. It takes the fear out of it. Like, I know how my life has been impacted by this, and how dare me not let somebody else in on my secret that I've found. Like, I want every girl, I want every guy too, but mostly girls. I want every girl to experience loving health and fitness. And I want every girl to be confident and comfortable in her skin. I want every girl to figure out how to eat to fuel, not just eat to feed. I want every girl to have a healthy mindset about her body. Like, I truly want that. So if I want that, how dare me not at least invite her and allow her to turn me down? If she turns me down, fine. But a lot of times, she's not turning me down because she doesn't want to join. She's turning down because she's scared a lot of times. So that's why you keep track of your conversations. Now, this is daunting, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I am not the best at tracking, but I'm getting better. So keep track of conversations, but not all of them. Do not write down every person you ever reach out to. I do not write down people who don't respond to me because they're not ready yet. And notice I say they're not ready yet. I fully believe that if girls are following me, they want to join me, or their other coaches, which whatever, from other teams and whatever. But if they're not connected with Beachbody at all and they're following you or me, they want in. Otherwise, they would unfollow you. They may not just be ready yet, and that's okay. You have to be willing to show up every day anyway, and eventually she's going to figure out that she's ready to join you. So I would track conversations that for sure are, I'm going to join you this month. Will you follow up with me at this day? Or like, I just have to get my money together. You know, people say that kind of stuff all the time. Or I'll do it next Friday. If you don't write those things down, you're going to forget, and she might too. So the easiest way I do it is if a girl says that she's interested this month, but she has to ask her husband, or she has to wait until next Friday for payday or whatever, I just keep a running total in my notes. That's the thing I'm best at tracking. Then you get those girls who say, this thing is going on in my life right now, I'll join you in the summer. Those are the girls that you should have an Excel sheet or a Google Doc or a notepad or whatever, and you put down their names, and then when she wants you to follow up with her, and then when that time comes around, you're able to follow up with her. They will appreciate it so much. And I actually talked to somebody yesterday who just signed up to be a coach. I don't know if she's here because I can't see all of you. But she said the reason she signed up with me, she was talking to like 4 other coaches. So do not think either. You might not be the only person they're watching. She said, I signed up with you because you're the only one who followed up with me. You're the only one who did. I was like, okay, point taken. I need to be better at following up with people, because if I'm not, you better bet somebody else is, and then she's going to get her. And I know that I want her on my team because we have the best team around, number one. I want to help her succeed, and I don't know that that other coach is going to do that for her. So I want to be the one to follow up. What questions do you have about this before I show you my examples? You guys are going to die at my examples.
Do you have a rule of thumb for like how many times or too many times? Because I have people that have shown interest, and then I've tried to like follow up with them and they don't respond, but they've been like super interested, like, this sounds perfect for me. And then they say, you know, I'll talk to my husband or whatever, and you reach back out in a couple of days. I usually give them a timeline, like, oh, that's fine, I'll check with you this weekend and see if you know. And then after that, like, they just don't message back. Do you just leave it at that, or try again?
I will look, and sometimes there are 5 messages every 2 months from me, and she's never responded. So if I see that I have a lot, I usually say, okay, I know that you're really interested in signing up, so what's holding you back? And most of the time that gets an answer of like, it's either money or it's time, or she'll just say, I'm not interested. But I want to know, like, what is your fear? And that helps a lot of time. Okay, my examples. I hope you can read these. Okay, the one on the left is me. And I want to show you this because so many of you, I'll show you my conversations and you're like, how are you so good? Like, how do you just know what to say? Because I've been doing it for 18 or 19 months, and I learned from failure, okay? I messaged this on the left probably a month into coaching. So this lady asked me, she wants to know more about what I'm doing. She wants to join my group. Look what I said. Just read it. I'll tell you a little about me. I'm a FACS teacher. I live in Southwest Missouri. This will be my 4th year. She doesn't care, okay? She ghosted me. She never spoke to me again. I still have not spoken to this lady because that was the wrong approach. Completely wrong. And I'm not, I'm a little embarrassed by it because it's terrible. But I learned from it. When she ghosted me, I never, ever approached a situation like this again because I was like, I did that the wrong way. She obviously does not care about me. If anything, I should have asked about her. Tell me your goals. You want to know more? Tell me how I can help. What are you looking for? Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to maintain? She gives me excuses, whatever. Okay, what's your job? Let's see how we can fit this into your schedule. But I went about it the totally wrong way, and I made it about myself. But I wanted to show you this because we all start here. We all start not quite knowing what to do, and it's okay. If you're not failing, you're probably not trying very hard. The more no's you get, it's whatever. They're not right no's, first of all. And second of all, learn from the no's. That's my best advice for you, is learn from the no's. And then the one on the right is somebody sent it to me. And you know you've gotten messages like this. Part of your faces are covering it, but it's I'm going for a promotion. I'm offering this for this much money. Can I grab you one? I'm only this far away from my goal. It's not about us, okay? We're not in this. Of course, we have income goals. Yes, we have rank advancement goals. But if that's your only goal, you're in the wrong business because you're going to fail. I'm just telling you that right now. Do not tell people that you need them so you can rank advance or so you can make money. That is selfish. That has nothing to do with their health journey. You're asking them to support you. Being a coach is about supporting them. You make the sale and then you walk the journey with them. You're not trying to make a quick buck. At least I hope you're not. And if you are, I'm just going to be blunt with you and tell you you are in the wrong business because that's not how this works. You are building relationships with women and helping transform their lives through health and fitness. So her message, I ignore every single message like that. And if that's how you've been messaging, no shame, just learn from it. I mean, look how terrible my message is. If you've been messaging like that, even something similar to that, just figure out how to change it up. You've probably been ghosted a lot if that's the way you're messaging, but we can fix it. So let me know if I can help you fix those messages. All right, moving right along. I wanted to show you some of my examples of recent messages that I've sent. I hope you can read them. The one on the left, I'm not going to read all of them to you because you are all fully capable of reading. But the one on the left, basically, I saw her on her story because I spent some time just watching random stories, and she was talking about like the stair stepper or something like that. So I reached out and I asked her about her workout. That's pretty much how that went along. And then she liked to post, and I reached out to her about it. The middle one, again, I saw her working out, and I love to just kind of say, are you a coach? Sometimes, most of the time they're not, because you can usually tell when somebody's a coach. But she happened to be a coach, and she was doing it the right way because I was not sure. But then it was like, okay, cool. Like, you know, I got turned down because she's already a coach, but I just wanted to check because if she wasn't, that was my perfect end to say, you should join me and you should get paid for showing your workouts on your story or whatever. The next one, this girl commented on a picture of me having coffee about like a coffee shop I should go to. And I'm genuine in this. I wanted to have coffee with this girl just to hang out with her, just to get to know her. And that's the approach I took of like, if she loves coffee and I love coffee and she's local, let's go grab coffee and let's just talk. Like for me, that would be so much fun. That may be a little bit out of your comfort zone. But just starting conversations with people on topics that you connect on. And then the last one, that is a reach out of a girl that just was kind of active on my page. I didn't invite her to my group. I don't actually think she ever responded even still, but I just wanted to let her know I'm thankful she's here, and I'm excited to connect with her. So I hope those little examples help. Questions? Alrighty. Next one. This one, again, pretty cut and dry. The third vital behavior is to help your girls get results. Your job is to lead by example. Your job is to check in with them. Your job is to engage with them and have them engage with you in challenge groups, encourage them, and be available. It is not your job to force them. It is not your job to make sure they're showing up if they're refusing to show up, but it is your job to always be available and always be ready to welcome them back in, even if they've fallen off for 6 months. You are their coach, and you are committing to the journey with them. You are not selling a product and saying, see you later. If you're a coach, your job is to get people results, walk the journey with them, and do challenge groups for yourself. So if you're on this call right now and you being here shows me that you want to do the business and you're committed, if you're still running a challenge group with your coach, it's time for you to get out on your own too, because people will trust you and respect you more if you are running your own challenge group. You will trust yourself more, and you will respect yourself more as a coach, and you will attract more women if you are running your own challenge group. I think that's super important. And then it's so fun to celebrate. These are some of the girls recently that I've been helping, and just every single time I can't help but to get so excited when I see like this girl on the left here. I can see her big smile. It's like they are so proud of themselves whenever they make progress. Like, it's so fun to help teach people how to do this lifestyle. And then a little tip: if you have girls who are showing up daily, if you have girls who are making insane gains in their health journey, you better get them to coach, because they're going to be coach material. That's what I say. Probably several of you on here started as my challengers. All right, last one, personal development. This is one that stubborn old me took a long time to get started with. And I'm going to tell you from experience, don't wait, because personal development has changed me and changed my business. So it is extremely important. We have a job that we pour into others that we are feeding into ourselves. There is a reason that on an airplane, they tell you to put your oxygen mask on before somebody else's if your plane starts going down. You cannot help somebody else if you don't have what you need to survive. That's pretty much how it goes. So we have this job where we're constantly pouring into others. Your cup is going to go empty if you're not filling yourself with something. Some of my tips for you: you do not have to read what everybody else is reading. If you see that popular book that all the coaches are reading or all the other business people are reading, don't feel like you have to read it. Like, you can read whatever you want for personal development, but you do need to be reading and listening to something. And then the last thing is there is professional versus personal, and you need to do both. I have been really into personal, and I've been lacking in professional. And you really do need a balance of both. Professional is those things that's going to make your business move forward, that's really going to make you feel inspired and talk about like finances or social media, things that are businessy. And then personal is more those things that are working on yourself internally. And I think both are equally as important. So I have some examples of some of my favorites. Imperfect Courage by Jessica Honegger. It's a book of a girl who started her own jewelry company, and it's a fair trade jewelry company. It's really good. If you only knew, well, Imperfect Courage is going to be personal and professional. If you only knew is a personal. Made to Crave could be personal or professional. Compound Effect is for sure professional. The Team Beachbody podcast is for sure professional. Boundaries for Leaders is professional. And then Business Boutique by Christy Wright, she's a Dave Ramsey personality, is a really good podcast I've just started this week, and it's definitely professional. So whatever you're reading, make sure that that you're enjoying it and you're growing from it. And this is a great way to get engagement on your page too. Like, I've posted about what I'm reading, and people love to like give me their input. I went against the grain, and I got more engagement on this post than ever. But I read Girl Wash Your Face, and I know some of you love it, and it's fine. We can have different opinions. I hated it more than anything. I hated it, and I posted about it. But it got people talking. Way high engagement on that post, and it was just fun to have a conversation about what I'm reading. I think it's cool. So whenever you're reading or listening, share that on social media too. It's cool for people to know that part of being a coach is growing personally and professionally. So share about that as often as you do it. I love to share about what I'm reading. I think it's really helpful. So that pretty much wraps up the four vital behaviors. What questions do you have about any of these? I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen so I can see all of you. Maybe. Ooh, I see some questions on chat over here. Oh, Taylor. Does anybody have questions about any of it? I feel like it's pretty cut and dry. Like I said, all top coaches, they're like, there are no secrets. Do the 4 vital behaviors and you're going to be successful. And I've found that in my business, when I'm not doing the 4 vital behaviors, my business isn't going forward. If I'm doing all of them without cutting any of them out, my business is moving forward daily. Is this helpful? Okay, good. So I